So, do we know what the antes are?
Wait, so the card being shown here is not the same card that we were linked to.
Oh yeah, this is different. Ooh, fun. Fun and exciting.
Okay, we should... Let's make sure that we have the right seed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are looking at the right seed, but the right seed is not being displayed.
Yeah.
It looks like azder has given row 2. Which, when you see it, that's another one that we're looking at.
Row 2
Oh, we
is...
definitely think column 4 is the hardest.
Row 2 is finish in Spore Spawn's room, skip Wave Beam, collect X energy tanks and 11 minus X reserve tanks, 10 plus power bombs, and defeat Dragon. So you have to go and kill Dragon, and you have to go all the way back to Brinstar afterward.
Actually, that pairs worse against bottom left, top right. Because that...
Yeah, because it means that you can't finish at the Norfair Super Missile. You have to go all the way down, kill GT, and then come back up to finish in Spore Spawn's room if you wanted to do bottom left to top right.
Yeah, we're gonna link the card now.
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, great, cool.
Honestly, we're kind of in favor of linking the card anyway, just because the card can look blurry on the screen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
In an ideal world, we'd have a setup where we'd have a bot command where people can get the card, but that's that's extra work to set up.
So, what were the two antes given?
Column 4, azder is column 4, and hero has row 2.
All right. Column 4, as we mentioned, looked pretty nasty.
So we are in favor of bottom left, top right with column 4.
Yeah, I think it fits well. Just trying to see if there's anything else that I really like with it.
We're gonna dig in to see what can be done with row 2.
Yeah, I like bottom left to top right with column 4. I'm not immediately seeing anything else that looks particularly great. Row 4 is an option. It's because you're already picking up 9 energy tanks, and then with row 4 you can collect both of the criteria tanks.
Oh, you're already picking up all E-tanks, so
exactly.
Yeah, we think row 4 actually goes better.
Norfair map station is free. 75 missiles fits well with the 60 that you need to get in Brinstar, and then screw attack is easy to get from the back door.
They're basically the same.
Yeah. Probably going to come down to runner preference and
yeah.
You know,
Meridian map station versus Norfair map station. You're gonna be running by the Meridian map station on the way to screw attack with either one of those. So anti-bingo means that your opponent gives you 1 row and you choose 1 row.
Row, column, or diagonal. So, assuming I remember correctly, azder has to do column 4, and
yes.
Hero 82 has to do row 2, and then you must do 1 other row, column, or diagonal of your choosing. They can, of course, overlap, and in general, it is a good idea to pick 2 that do overlap, although you do not strictly have to.
In the Canadian Owls match, the one just before this, Owl actually did 2 rows, and we believe that 2 rows was not the fastest, but given that he'd already killed Spospo, 2 rows was the fastest.
I was busy going through a whole bunch of Super Metroid code documentation during that match, so I did not watch it.
So, what goes well with row 2?
So you have to finish in Spore Spawn's room. I think that's a good place to start when thinking about routing. So if possible, I'm thinking immediately like try to avoid Lower Norfair, because going all the way into Lower Norfair and then leaving takes forever. So given that you have to collect a bunch of tanks, you can't get Wave Beam, 10 power bombs is free, and you have to defeat Dragon. So you already have to go out to Meridia and come back into Brinstar. So what's sort of more or less on that path that we would have to do?
Row 3 is not... Well, so the standard that we have to compare against is bottom left, top right. And bottom left, top right is a good one. It's not as great as it would be with the other one, but not having to pick up all 60 Brinstar missiles basically makes up the difference in time that you have to.
Yeah,
The difference in time that you have there.
that's a very good point. How do you feel about doing maybe column 2? Oh no, never mind. You can't because you have to finish an elevator. Because I saw 15 power bombs defeat Spore Spawn and Botwoon on column 2, and I was like, ooh, that's nice, but can't finish on an elevator and also finish in Spore Spawn's room. It's unfortunate.
How do you like column 4 with row 2?
Ugh. I mean, well,
Because the 9 E-tanks is free.
let's see. Yeah, so the E-tanks
Plasma
is
beam is
free.
only a little bit out of the way.
Plasma beam's not terrible since you already have to kill Dragon. The 60 missiles kinda kills it a little bit.
Well, you need. Oh, never mind. That's not the row that needs 75 missiles. So yeah, we thought that
Yeah.
that was a row with 75 missiles, but so that's actually only slightly worse than We'd say that that's only slightly worse than, or it's worse than bottom left, top right. And you can see right here, based on where they are in the game, that Azder is definitely the better player, but that they're both really good. So this
Yes.
could go either way depending on how they route it.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah.
So both are preparing to go up the red tower,
Yes.
which is definitely the right call given how the card is, given how that they have to go, both have to kill Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to have to pick up Varia before Gravity.
Yep.
So row three actually looks pretty decent with. Row 3 looks pretty decent with row 2 actually. We need to compare that against bottom left, top right.
Collecting only one of Ice Beam or High Jump boots.
That's easy.
Not
Defeat
hard.
Spokesbone and Botwoon, very easy.
Yep, given that you're already finishing in Spore Spawn's room and you have to kill Dragon.
Green Star Reserve, you're gonna get that
Free.
anyway.
Yeah.
Collect only one or speed of grapple beam. That's that's very
terrible.
easy.
I can't think of anything you would need grapple for. So yeah,
30
and then
30
super
supers
missiles
is a hard one there.
Yeah. Let's see, because you can get 2 easily. You have 1 at Alpha Supers. You have 2
Actually,
that you can get easily in the wrecked ship.
30 supers is really easily.
So yeah,
30
you only
supers
need
is
to
really
make up
easy.
3 more. One of which is Crab Supers, which is quick.
There's 3 in Meridia, all of which are fairly quick. So
Yeah.
2 in wreck ship, 1 early supers, and then
3 in Meridia, Aqueduct, Crab Supers, and then
each.
the other one, Sand. It's Sand, right? I should know this.
So
Was
yeah,
it third? Yeah.
that's actually really fast, and we have to compare this against bottom left, top right because they're both really good.
I like avoiding Lower Norfair because also you could skip Varia if you're doing row 2, row 3. Let me make sure I'm not saying something stupid.
This isn't rando. You skip Varia regardless.
Oh, I mean, I guess. I mean,
So
yeah.
So it's going into Lower Norfair versus going to the watering hole, basically.
Yeah. I'd
Oh,
take Watering Hole. Watering Hole's not that far out of the way since you're already going to Aqueduct, right?
Well, one of the things with bottom left, top right is that you would not have to get speed.
That's true.
You'd just run in, grab ice, and then you'd go.
Yep.
Well, actually, you have to get to Bubble Mountain anyway for the Hell Run. To get to Lower Norfair, so.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to get to Bubble Mountain for... Well, you don't need to get the Bubble Mountain Reserve. No, you don't need that. Yeah, I like row 3 with row 2.
Yeah, we're really liking row 3.
I was looking at Azder. I was too busy looking at the card. I was like, why is Azder behind all of a sudden? It's because he's been collecting a lot of missiles. Having to get all those 60 Brinstar missiles.
Fanfare percent.
Oh, yeah. Fanfare percent. Hey, that's like one of the categories that I like.
100 fanfare RTA.
Well,
Actually, that'd be really interesting.
according to some people, there's 101 fanfares in the game. Because some people
the
count
Edacoons.
the Edacoon singing, they say counts as 101th, 101st.
That was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, wild. A very
Oh, no.
divisive.
That's actually really bad for Hero's health.
Yeah. Fantoon smacks pretty dang hard at this health. He has a reserve tank, so he's got more than
But
you would
it's
have
empty.
in, say, a new round 80%, but it is completely 100% empty, and I don't think it's going to be full unless he goes and stops at the ship refill, which he might.
Which is not going to happen in the race this tight.
That is, yeah, that's fair.
Well,
He's
he's
going to be
saving.
taking the red tower save, though.
So that's actually really smart because that lets you farm the cax again, which is plus 40 health as well as a save.
Hero's going to be picking up beta power bombs as well.
I wonder what Azder's second power bomb pack is going to be.
Well, let's see. Think about what Azure might do and what powerbomb packs are sort of on his path. Since he's going to be coming back to Spore Spawn, I'm thinking about Brinstar powerbomb packs, none of which are amazingly accessible.
Dab and Rando would actually be really interesting because you'd have to route on the fly depending on what items you get.
I feel like that would also be kind of difficult to generate in a way which would be fair, because you need to make sure that your dab, rows, columns, diagonals are possible with the randomized ROM, right? Because it could be like collect plasma beam and all right, that's a bad example. Like collect wave beam and skip high jump or something, and then wave beam ends up somewhere in Meridia and you can't get to it.
It's all going to be possible if you're good enough.
You just arbitrary code execution. It's easy. That would be cool as heck, though. But I feel like you would want to have them generated together, and it might be kind of tricky to do, but not impossible.
Oh, forget balance. Let's just do it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Just do it and let everything fail terribly. It'll be wonderful.
I mean, worst case scenario, you get a few uncompletable seeds. We've had worse.
It'll definitely all be completable. Well, so the only one thing that might make it uncompletable in a rando is if you have Varia not or gravity not give heat protection. That could make a seed uncompletable.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking about because the balance reasons behind that I think are pretty strong, right? Like you.
Oh yeah, they're in Heroes.
So I'm just thinking,
is
that still? And yeah, both are across the board. I'm just thinking, is that still relevant in a double anti-bingo setting? Is that still necessarily as important? Because the victory
that makes it harder. And
I guess that, yeah.
And with randos, you just kind of put it on the hardest setting and go.
And Azure finishes off the Screaming Ghost, or
so we have a question about column 4 and column 5 together. And 40 Brinstar missiles is free. Both criteria E-tanks is free. Well, we don't think that Azder actually. No, Azder's gonna do Gauntlet E-tank on the way out, 100%, with having to get 9 E-tanks. Defeat Dragon is free. Meridia Map Station is free.
Yeah. Assuming you remember where it is. I know I've forgotten its location on a few occasions.
Yeah, as long as you get high jump.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. It makes a little bit of a loop, but it's not hard. And Defeat Dragon is free, so that leaves 30 supers.
Yeah.
So then
30 supers is pretty not terrible, as we talked about, because there's 3 in Meridia where you're already going to be going, and 2 in Wreck Ship. Azure has already collected 1 of the Wreck Ship supers, and I expect he'll be collecting the other.
So the question is whether 30. How does 30 supers compare to getting into LN once? Because 25 supers is easy, but
so if you're doing column 4 and column 5, you're already going down into Norfair for picking up Speed Booster, so you're not that far.
No. We're trying to do this without Speed Booster.
Oh, I see, and get Grapple Beam instead.
Oh, you do have to go in there for Speed Booster. Oh yeah, then that makes the supers entirely free.
Yeah.
So yeah, top left.
And though I am thinking because thinking about 30 supers versus entering LN, since you're already going to Norfair for Speed Booster, you're not that far from dipping into LN pretty quickly. It's not the closest thing in the world, but it's not that far.
You have to go into Norfair. It saves you a double Norfair visit because.
Yeah.
Or having to kill GT.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, we're really starting to like column 5 with that. So actually, with both of them, we think that the optimal play might be another row doing 10 squares rather than 9.
Yeah. Because a lot of those squares in column 5 are just totally nullified by column 4.
And not having to go into LN at all is really awesome.
This uses NMG rules, right?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Hero's taking another save.
I guess scared of the attic. Or maybe scared of
bowling.
Yeah, bowling. Or are they? No, okay. For a second I thought they might be worried about going to pick up the wreck ship E-tank. Just because, they've got all that E-tank and reserve tank collection that they have to do. But
so one of the theories the hero might be going by is that azder is a better player. So if neither player dies, then hero's probably behind.
Yeah.
So hero might be banking on an azder death.
It has happened.
And that might be his. He might think that he doesn't have much of a chance of winning unless something bad happens to azder. So he's just gonna play it safe, play a solid game, go a little bit slower, and hope.
It's a totally reasonable play to be making. See if it pays off. I know usually when I'm the underdog, because I mostly do rando tournaments, I just immediately bet on crazy long shot stuff and just hope that I'm right.
Yeah, that was our plan when we had Zost as our next opponent. Fortunately, we didn't get to play that game, but we were absolutely going. Our plan was to study Zost's game and then figure out how to create route divergence.
I mean, my plan is usually just to beeline for Shaq Tool and hope that Varia is there or something. And we see azder picking up the Gauntlet E-tank.
So, yeah, this is gonna be really, really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. There's a couple pretty reasonable plays, I think, to make in either position. And yeah, I'm really curious to see where this goes.
We're mostly curious whether azder's gonna do top left, bottom right, or whether azder's gonna do column 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, no, we already know that azder's gonna be going for column 5 because he got the second super pack.
Yeah, he also might have just wanted a little bit more ammo room for... Yeah.
Yeah, no. Azder's level. Azder is more than capable of a Shine Spark kill for Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. See, my brain's still on rando, so I was like, oh, well, what if he wants to Crystal Flash and lower Norfair? It's like, why would you need to do that? Too many randos,
There's
man.
not a SMZ3R bingo card yet. You could make one, though.
And Hero is going to be picking
Anyone can make a bingo card.
Hero is going to be picking up the wreck ship E-tank.
Squares are being marked.
Not wanting to do it without gravity, and for good reason, almost dying to the spike platforms, which are not cargos. It looks like azder. Nah, never mind. Getting the other.
Is azder gonna make this his? Oh no, azder has to go back through Brinstar to get more E-tanks anyway.
Mm-hmm. For a second, I thought he might have been going for climb supers there.
No speed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's this E-tank, right? We had forgotten about this. Collect X E-tanks and 11 minus X E-tanks means that you can collect 11 E-tanks and 0 reserves, or you can collect 7 E-tanks and 4 reserves, or anywhere in between. Oh, he needs to collect all the Brinstar missiles.
Ah, there it is.
As they're making this harder for himself than they need to.
Yeah.
So in one column wide cells, you can just hold a single direction and just mash jump. You don't need to do turnarounds for wall jumps.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. See, I didn't even know that.
and that's really something you can. That's one of the only places in the game where it actually makes a difference.
Did azder not pick up the Brinstar reserve? I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the card when that happened. I know he has a reserve tank. I don't know what other reserve tank it would be.
It had to have been Brin reserve.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
We just marked it off.
azder picking up his second power bomb pack, coming up to 10 total. So it does look like azder is going for column 5, by the looks of it.
How about column 5 with row 2?
Column 5 with row 2. So Meridian Maps...
It has a little bit extra missile collection.
It does have... Yeah, it has a little extra missile collection. 25 plus Criterion missiles or 40 plus Brinstar missiles. I'm trying to think about how difficult that would be. It's not too bad.
Well, actually, we think Hero is going for Criterion missiles because he got below Sky missiles.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why he would pick that up.
Yeah,
this card is fascinating. It has so many easy rows that we really do think that column 5 is about equivalent to top, bottom left, top right. It's about equivalent to row 3. We feel like this is a card where it's really hard to make a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
And all the decisions are really close. This is just going to come down to execution. Yeah, Hero's going to the back half of Gauntlet to get another 10.
Yeah.
Wait, did azder actually forget?
Yeah, he forgot beta missiles. I saw that, but didn't want to comment on it. Because that's a Brinstar missile, if I'm not wrong.
It
I
is.
Get confused with Retro Brinstar, so he's gonna have to go back for that. Oops.
So how many Criterion missiles is?
And he also,
Hero
I don't think he. Let's see. So he's got Sky missiles. He's got the maze just below Sky missiles. He's got the.
Did he get Sky missiles?
Maybe.
We would expect that he wouldn't get Sky missiles. That's a really hard one to get if you don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
Movement items. So that's at least 3.
Yeah. And then Alpha missiles, it makes 4, right?
Alpha missiles are in Brinstar.
No,
the moat makes 4.
Yeah.
The moat makes 4. Did he get the below? Did he get below? He got below ocean too, so he has that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got below ocean.
So that's 5. Yeah, it's 25.
Ocean missiles. Yeah, so that's 5.
So I think that does seem to signify Hero 82 going for
column 5 as well.
5. Yeah, both of our is going for column 5. So then what is the difference between row 2 and column 4 time-wise? I would say not a huge amount, really.
We'd say that row 4 has the worst. Well, column 4 has to run to plasma beam. Row 4 has to. Yep, and there Azder did get the beta missiles.
Ah, good.
Probably, we'd expect that they're listening to their stream. So Azder is not actually going to the Edikun tank.
Yeah.
Which means that Azder must have this routed well in his head.
Yeah. There's a few tanks that you can get in Radia.
There's 2 tanks.
Batun, yeah,
2 tanks plus a
and,
reserve.
yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what Azder's tanks are.
Yeah.
Because Azder needs 6 more tanks, and 2 are in Lower Norfair, so those aren't going to be grabbed. Edikun was skipped. And that leaves only 2 more tanks. He skipped Wreckship Reserve, right? Wreckship tank, right?
Yes. I think so.
That leaves only 1 more tank that Azder can skip. And Kraid tank might be that.
Yeah, I think probably.
We don't have all the tanks mapped in our head, but...
Wait a minute. Azder is going to get top left to bottom right. Because he's already done everything else except for the column 4 one. Which he has to do. So he doesn't have to visit the Meridia map station or defeat Dragon. Well, he still has to defeat Dragon. But he can skip out on the 30 super missiles because he's already gotten, he's collected Gauntlet Energy Tank. He doesn't have Wave Beam.
Yeah,
he got the Brintstar Reserve and he got the extra missiles.
So
yeah.
this is a card where everything combos with everything.
Yeah. The synergy. The synergy. Also, nice wave gate there without hiding from Hero.
They both have. Well, Azder's gonna have to collect Plasma Beam.
Yeah.
It looks like they're both going for top left, bottom right.
Yeah. Well, with Hero, it would mean going to collect
both
Plasma
of them already have
after
4 out of the 5.
Dragon. Yeah.
It's like Azder 100% going for it, and Hero would just have to run to Plasma, and that's it.
I mean, Az just getting it whether he's going for it or not. And yeah, Hero only has to do the run to Plasma, which isn't that long.
Actually, Hero will have to end at Spospos.
Which means, so he has to leave Meridia.
So, it still might... Plasma to Spospo is not a short journey at all.
No. But, I mean, he's got to go Dragon to Spospo
It's probably
anyway.
faster than anything else on the card.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, the other option is you either make the detour for Plasma, or you make the detour for the Meridia map station and the extra super missiles. And I think Plasma's probably going to work out shorter in that. I would think. Based on my intuition.
Yeah, so you do the map station and... You need the map station and... a few extra supers. How many supers did...
oh god, I don't know how many supers Hero picked up in Wreck Chip. I would guess both. I mean, at least one. Probably.
Yeah. We're really curious what...
I mean, if Hero's going for column 5, and it looks like there's a good chance that they maybe were... question mark? Then I would have expected them to. Also, Azder has picked up Speed Booster.
So yeah, with top left, bottom right, we think Azder actually gave Hero the harder card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Azder's just better at this game than either of us.
I mean, you didn't need a double anti-bingo match to tell me that.
Yeah, Aster, we saw that you got both of them in the wreck ship. But we're curious how many Hero got to see if Hero is going for a top left, bottom right, or something else.
Yeah. So Hero's not
Given how well this
immediately...
top left, bottom right synergized, like we aren't sure that there. This might just be a card where everything was easy.
Yeah. I assume Hero's going down to pick up energy. Trying to think of what other reason they would have.
Azder says that they
also...
did something wrong.
I think they have to go back for Brinstar missiles, maybe.
So Azder got the 3. Azder already picked up the 3 at early supers.
Yeah, and he got the 3...
Got the 3 around Billy Mays.
Yep.
Got the first missile, of course.
Yep. So that's 7. And we
Kraid
need...
missiles. Kraid missiles.
Ah.
And what were the other 2? Oh, the other two were in big pink. So yeah, it's Kraid missiles.
Well, there's also the pipe missiles. There's 2 in big pink, and then the one in what's it called? Green Hill Zone. That one. I think he probably got that already. He's been through there.
Yeah. So actually, we miscounted. We're just gonna look up what the Brinstar missiles are.
You know, literally earlier today, I made a list of all of the items in the game, so you'd think it would be fresh in my memory, but it absolutely 100% is not.
So there's the 3 around Billy Mays, and plus alpha missiles. There's 2 in big pink, pipe missiles. 3 around, and there's 3 around early supers. Kraid missiles, and then the ones behind Alpha Peeps.
Yeah, I think...
Yes, Owl, we're a Mappa runner. That means that we don't care where the items are. We just get the map tiles. We don't need to pick up the items.
See, we have no excuse because we're a hundo runner, and I don't know where anything is, man. I can only do it in order, you know?
So this is E-Tank number 6 for Azder.
So it looks like Azder's most certainly going to be going back to Brinstar, and I think that was the mistake that he was alluding to, is having to leave Meridia now. So I think I would say that his original plan was probably to get the 9 E-Tanks and all the missiles before entering Meridia, kill Dragon, and then, you know, collect the last couple of E-Tanks that you need to collect in Meridia, kill Dragon, and then go to Plasma and finish up. But he's going to have to go back to
Azder is short 3 E-Tanks, so would have to leave Meridia anyway.
Yeah.
So, we're actually curious about Azder's routing, because, like, what Azder is planning for E-Tanks, because Azder still has 3 E-Tanks to grab.
Yeah. So, see, the thing is, I wasn't paying close enough attention to know exactly which ones he has grabbed. I'd imagine he certainly got Terminator and Task Tank, I would think.
Yeah, he got those.
And then High Jump, right?
Yeah, and Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. What's the other? The Terminator is the other one in Criteria. So that's 4. He's currently got 2 more than that, and then the 2 in Meridia that he's picked up. Also, very nice Dragon Kill out of Azder. So then that's Mama Turtle.
Very nice double bomb jump, just straight up out of there.
Yeah. They say the bomb jumping is the hardest part.
Oh, so, yeah. Hero tries to do the swag deboost over to the Northern Reserve.
Oh, so close.
Luckily, Hero has ice and high jump.
Yeah.
Without high jump, that would be a lot more critical.
Is that one of those pixel perfect wall jumps with
No,
without high
nowhere
jump, or
near
is it
pixel
just
perfect.
impossible? Oh, okay.
Nowhere near pixel perfect.
Just hard. Because I know there's a couple that without high jump that are like that are pixel perfect, like Worst Room in the game, and I think Plasma has a similar one.
Is it only pixel perfect for worst room in the game?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's way more. That's like 16 times more generous than the Saturn climb in Cathedral Entrance. Okay, so let's look at where Hero is at. Hero has E-Tank collection to do still.
Yes. A little bit more.
Hero is actually reverse cathedraling.
Yeah. I could have swore he picked up speed.
Yeah, we aren't sure that this is... Picking up speed is probably better than doing the reverse Hell Run. The reverse cathedral.
Did he not have...
Yeah, he does have speed.
Yeah. Did he not have enough power bombs? No, he must have. Eh. Interesting. Maybe there's something we're missing.
Whoa, that was a nice jump by Azder. We did not know that existed.
Very cute.
That makes that much simpler. That's something that we're going to add to our mental list of tricks.
Yeah. See, you get that room every so often in Super Metroid Arcade, and my strategy, if I had Speed Booster, was just to spark out of it. Which actually gets you bonus points in Arcade, as a fun fact. I'm playing a lot of Arcade.
So Hero, Hero has 1 or 2 reserve tanks. Oh, Hero picked up Norfair reserve, so has 2.
Yeah, so 2. That makes this the last tank. 2 reserves, a full row of E-tanks is 7. Yep. 7 and 2 is 9. And I miscounted.
I'm surprised that Hero
this
is
only
going for
10.
a bomb jump rather than charging another spark.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
No,
the
that's not
spark
going to work,
is-
Hero. That's 100% not going to work.
The wall jumps.
Wait, what? We did not realize that you could do that.
Magic.
That is another trick that we're going to have to add to our mental list.
Yeah, and with Batu and tank, Hero will be done with all of the tank collection.
Yep.
And I think we'll also have the 9+ E tanks. Or they will have the the 9+ E tanks.
So Hero still has to go to the beach. Wait, does Hero? We weren't counting.
I think
No,
so.
wait, did Hero grab Etikun supers?
Oh god. I have no idea. So Azra's killing Kraid to get Kraid tank. You see here. According to Nightwolf, Hero doesn't need supers in the chat.
So this is Hero's 30 supers?
Did they skip crab supers? Did they get it?
It looks like Skip.
Yeah, because it looks like they skipped it. Which should be odd if you're skipping that and picking up Aqueduct. I'm gonna assume that they got it.
Column 5. Oh, you're right. You're right. Hero has top right, top left, bottom right. So Hero doesn't need supers. Wait,
Yeah,
no, but Hero's doing grow too.
Hero can have top left, bottom right if they go and pick up Plasma.
So supers versus the Plasma.
Yeah, this is a discussion we had a little before. I think Plasma probably works out faster. Hero might have just wanted more supers for Botwood. Actually, it occurs to me now. Just looking at their current super count.
Yeah.
It might have just been to get more ammo for Botwood, so that way you don't have to kill Botwood with ice shots, because ice shots do.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Full damage. 90 each. If Astra kills Spospo, it's like 5 bingos. Astra picks up Kraid
We'd be
missiles.
really curious how something like triple bingo or cinco bingo would work with Super Metroid. Like, We're really hoping that Super Metroid will do a new bingo category sometime.
That would be fun. I'd be into that.
Because we know that Pokemon Gen 2 randomizer, Pokemon Crystal randomizer uses Cinco Bingo, Mario 64 and Triple Bingo. There's all sorts of interesting stuff that you can do with Bingo. Oh, Hero still has to finish in Spospo's room.
Yes.
So that actually makes Plasma significantly out of the way.
I mean, thinking. Because essentially your Meridia exit is going to be leaving back through Batuan's chamber and then going out and then down through Mount Everest, or going to Plasma, going down the toilet, and then exiting that way.
So...
And I feel like going to Plasma and going down the toilet isn't, like, crazy slow. But it definitely is out of the way. For sure. I think that makes
Azder
this...
has 2 more E-Tanks to grab.
Yeah, I think this makes us a little bit closer, because Azder having to pick up 2 E-Tanks is unfortunate, having to go back for that.
Hero, make every shot count. Make every shot count. Got him.
Oh, God. 0, 0, and 5. Looks like one of my runs.
Oh, Waterway.
Yeah, Waterway E-Tank. And then there's one more E-Tank to pick up, which I assume will be Eticoon's, because Azder skipped that earlier.
Yeah, Eticoon, definitely.
And then that'll be a done from Azder, I would expect. Unless I'm like, yeah, no, okay, that's everything.
Yeah, so Azder might be dead, but might be done before Dragon is dead.
Yeah, depending on how this Dragon fight goes.
Well, Azder has an extra 15 seconds to work with during the death animation.
Yeah, that is true.
This was a really interesting card.
Yeah, a lot of different options that you could take.
Yeah, this was a card where it's basically impossible to do. Where it's basically impossible to do it wrong.
Here are going
so,
for
so it really
for a
just came
spike
down
suit.
and so it really just came down to execution. And what we're seeing here is just the result of Azder having the 3 or 4 minute faster any percent time.
Yeah.
That's the entire difference. Hero successfully not bonking with a reverse halfie.
And with that, Azder has finished.
Azder has finished in first place with an official SRL race time of 42 minutes and 45 seconds. GG.
GG.
This was an amazing, amazing match.
Yeah, very, very good. Fast,
The
too.
entire time we were... the runners kept us thinking about what they were actually doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just shows, you know, goes to the credit of both of these runners, not only being very skilled mechanically, but also being very quick on their feet and good at doing that sort of analysis and thinking while playing. They still had us guessing, and all we had to do was stare at the card and try to be smart.
So, Tracy asked Azder why Azder went for the Meridian map station, and Azder said, because I needed it for column 5. So we wonder if Azder did not realize that Azder got top left, bottom right.
Yeah, I would want that out. I mean, I didn't realize it until after he had already gotten it. And so I would totally believe that he had just gotten it without realizing inadvertently, and then we mentioned it on comms.
Azder just responded, so I didn't need to get supers. Azder just realized that Azder got top left, bottom right.
Yep. Oh, beautiful.
So, what route do you take to Spospo from here?
From here, so I would go down the toilet, and then you don't have space jumps, so going left across that room is a big pain. But I would go down the toilet, I would go left, and then out that way, back by near Kraid's lair, you know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then go back through there, through Red Brimstone. The other option, I think, would be to go up Oh no, you can't really. Go
Actually,
up
no.
there.
The other
Yeah.
option is the Forgotten Highway, so the answer is very
Yeah.
easy from here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Azder.
GG,
How are you
and
doing?
congratulations on the victory.
Oh my god, that was a mess. I misread
We were staring
it
at the
so badly.
bingo card the entire time, thinking that there's basically no bad options in this card.
Yeah.
There's several good
well,
options.
Yeah, it was hard to go along with pairing with my row. Like he gave me probably the worst row on the card. So, but like it pairs. Like column 5 had basically everything, and I totally didn't see that TLVR was freer. So I got 30 supers.
Yeah, as mentioned, we totally didn't see it either until after it had already been done.
Oh my goodness. I was like actually like this is how much I didn't notice. I was agonizing on whether I wanted to go out of my way for Meridia map. If I wanted to defeat Spore Spawn to check the square for row 3. I also forgot that Wreckship E-Tank existed. So when I was looking at 9 E-Tanks, I tried to pick the 5 I didn't want to get. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm going to Big Pink without speed. So let's cut out Waterway and Edicoons, and then the 3 in Norfair, Croc, and the 2 in Ella, and let's not get those. And I forgot about Wreckship E-Tank, and I was like, oh, I realized like on my way to Meridia, I was like, oh crap, this is bad. I have to go back to Big Pink, so I might as well just skip an E-Tank and then go and get both Waterway and Dedicoons. Did I get Botun E-Tank? I don't even remember if I picked it up.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I might have forgotten it.
But yeah, very, very well run, I would say.
I think I played really well, but my routing was like awful.
Hindsight's always 2020.
There were a few small mistakes. None of them cost you too much time.
Yeah, I'd say the only real major mistake was having to go back into Brinstar after finishing Meridia, and even that didn't end up taking too long. Mostly because Hero ended up having to finish in Spore Spawn's room. I think that Defeat Dragon finish in Spore Spawn's room was probably one of the nastier things on the card, having now seen the seed go to completion.
Yeah, see, I really liked that. When he slammed me with column 4, I was like, oh, I kind of didn't even see this. 60 Brinstar missiles is actually a lot, and having to go to Norfair, I mean, you kind of need a speeder ice anyway, so that's kind of moot. But I mean, I don't know. My goal when picking a row for him was I actually saw BLTR, I saw Screw Attack and Norfair super right next to each other, and the rest of the row looks pretty free. So I was like, I want to give him something that does not go well with that row, because that row is way too free.
That is exactly what we saw in the card, and that is exactly what we were eyeing when we were trying to figure out what to give. So, Defeat Dragon was the way to do that, and the question is, which Defeat Dragon is worst?
Yeah.
Plasma Beam took more extra time than I thought.
And with that, Hero 82 has finished. And I'm not in the SRL chat, so I don't know the official time.
In second place with an official SRL race time of 48 minutes and 18 seconds. GG, Hero.
GG. Very well done.
Hero, unfortunately missing wave beam, so not going to be able to one-shot... No, wait. No, unfortunately not going to be able to one-shot Squispo.
Does that work if you do? You could do like wave beam through the carapace.
Charge beam does double damage to Spospo.
Yeah.
It's basically impossible to hit, but if you do hit it, then...
Actually, no, wait. No, that was 600 damage times 2 did 1 hit it.
What beam does he have?
I think Ice Plasma?
Ice,
yeah.
Yeah, Ice Plasma.
Yeah, that'll
Ice Plasma will do it.
It's a big number. Do we have a Hero coming in for a bit of an interview, or? Do we know?
Yeah, he's setting up his mic.
All right. Just give him a second there. And thank you, Tracy, for giving us the wonderful runners command. Make sure to follow both of these runners. They're both very, very good runners of this game.
And make sure to follow Nightwolf and Tracy, the wonderful trackers who help there, and our co-commentator Ploth.
And make sure to follow our co-commentator Freya Spirit. And just another quick shout out for the trackers. Tracking these things is so hard. It is so difficult. There's 1,000 things that you need to keep track of if you want to actually make sure you tick all the squares and boxes. So just a secondary shout out to Nightwolf and Tracy doing the tracking for this one. Really great job.
Tracking is basically at the point where you just need a printed out piece of paper and to make tick marks on.
Yep. Absolutely. One of these days, we'll have the auto dab tracker. In theory, you could maybe do it. I mean, you could
definitely do it.
If you took the time to program it, you know.
You could definitely do it. All you need to do is define the item bit array and then map them.
You want to know what I did this afternoon?
Did you figure out the item bit array?
Well, I found where it is, and I was starting to write it down. You see, I essentially came up with 2 strategies. Option 1 is crawl through all of the room data in the game and try to find where they have, because like somewhere in there there's got to be the address that they actually, there's an address in WorkRAM where they keep track of which items have been blah, 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 and it gets saved to the SRAM somewhere, I don't know where. But WorkRAM is the useful place to look. So you can either crawl through all the room data looking for the addresses in the room data, because somewhere in that they have an offset and a pointer that they use to know where in WorkRAM to set it when you pick up the item. The other option, which is what I ended up going with, is to hook up a RAM watcher to my SD to SNES and then just do 100% run and then write down every time one of the bits changes.
Yep, that's definitely the easier way. Just doing it. So to answer your question, I
got through like 40 of the items before having to go eat dinner.
To answer your question, Tracy, you could definitely do it with a vanilla Super Metroid cart, but in order to do that, you'd have to do image processing, and you'd have to pick up you'd have to look for the item pickup dialogue, and
that
figure
could
out
get tricky.
Figure out which room you're in based on that.
That could get tricky because some rooms look really similar. Because like alpha missiles and 230 missiles look near identical after you've picked it up.
The mini map looks different, probably.
Oh, that's true. You could use that.
So it's definitely possible. It'd be a lot more work, but it's definitely possible. And there are auto splitters which work that way.
Yep. And also, Hero82 has joined us. Hero, welcome.
Hello.
And
GG.
thank you for the tracking, Nightwolf. GG.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, that was an amazing seed.
Yeah. Excellent race, I would say. I hear an animal, potentially a dog.
There's a herd of animals going by me right now.
I'm near a herd of animals. Actually, let me get over there.
So, Hero, what was your happiest moment of this seed?
I don't know. Getting across moat and then surviving Fantoon, I suppose.
Yeah, we saw you take the save before going down there, taking the safer option, and also you picked up Wreckship E-Tank after getting Gravity, which is again playing it a little bit safer as opposed to going riskier and trying to get that suitless where everything does 30 billion damage. If you
yeah, that's the thing about like running these dab seeds is that you often end up having to do a lot more in Wreckship than you normally do in like in low percent or in new route, and doing like a full Wreckship clear with 199 health is not fun.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any grand regrets about the seed?
I don't know. I probably could have routed a little bit of Big Pink in later, like when I went back to Spore Spawn, but I don't know. I probably could have just played a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, and made it a little bit closer. But I think I was going to lose no matter what.
I wouldn't say no matter what. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah,
But
anybody can die. Super Metroid can kill you at any time.
yes, it absolutely can.
People can make routing mistakes. People can forget missile.
Yep.
I made several running mistakes.
I started, so I had row 2 as my assigned row, and I changed my mind a couple times in what I was going to do, and I started collecting column 5, and then I was like, wait, I think the diagonal, I think my diagonal play was the better play. I think it was, I mean, Plasma's kind of a slow play, but I don't know, Super Collection with the route that I took could have been a little bit slower. I don't know. I think column 5 and the diagonal play were probably about the same in terms of time.
I'm still kind of going back and forth internally on whether or not column 5 or that top left to bottom right diagonal would have worked out slower, because I think ultimately, like, it just comes down to whether it'd be slower to grab Plasma on the way to Spore Spawn, or throughout the route pick up 30 super missiles and the Meridia map station. Yeah, I think given how your ammo ended up working out, especially in Meridia, because I noticed you picked up the Aqueduct Supers, and I assume that was just for Batoon ammo.
It was.
I think given that it worked out that way, like, you know, if we could have seen into the future, maybe column 5 would have been faster since you had to pick those up anyway, but like there's no way you could have necessarily known that going into it. You know?
No. And I guess the one caveat to it would be that the reason that I thought that the diagonal play might have been the better play was because I knew I was going to pick up the Gauntlet tank anyway, because I had to pick up so many tanks. So
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I kind of had the same. I actually almost gave you column 3 because it had the same cell, the 11X tanks.
Uh-huh.
But I just didn't think that it was enough of a hamstring column.
Yeah, especially because like Ice Beam and Brinstar Reserve is totally free, and Ice Beam is pretty free.
Yeah. It was really hard for me to decide. I ultimately gave you row 2 because I liked the Dragon and Finish and Spore Spawn combo.
Yeah, that's not convenient.
But I did feel like there were very few other things bad about that row, so I was wondering, like, I felt throughout the whole seed that I might have given you something too easy. And I also ended up backtracking to Big Pink because of my own routing errors, so I basically did that to myself as well.
What did you pair column 4 with?
Well, you know how you're talking about how top left and bottom right and column 5 are really similar?
Yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot and I couldn't decide, so I did both.
Excellent. So you beat me with completing basically 3.
Okay, so I didn't actually do that intentionally, but for me it was between column 5 and column 5 and row 3, and they looked really similar. But then I was like, okay, well, getting Meridian map is on the way out of Plasma at least, so I can recover from that mistake, and defeating Spore Spawn, that's a bit unnecessary and longer. So I'm going to do column 5, and what I didn't realize was that in doing column 5, I also completed top left, bottom right. And I didn't even see that row. So I got 30 super missiles for no reason.
Right. Well, I guess I just realized that I almost completed row 1. Like, I could have easily tagged the Meridia map station because that's basically on the way out of Meridia. The Brinstar missiles is practically a formality because when you're doing Brinstar cleanup for like power bombs and energy tanks anyway, like, they're all on the way. And, well, you can't collect, never mind, because you can't collect space jump with the diagonal. This wasn't, I've done a couple cards recently, and this just wasn't really that bad of a card. There was nothing, I looked at it for a while and I was like, what am I gonna give azder that's going to, like, be that difficult, and there's not really anything on it that's like, there's nothing that sent you like there's nothing that forced you to go to Norfair and then up to Wreck Ship and then back down to Norfair. Like, it was pretty straightforward routing, except for some Brinstar cleanup.
I mean, we mentioned, I don't know if you were listening to the commentary, but we definitely mentioned that, like, there's not really a lot of ways to really go wrong on this card. There's a lot of pretty reasonable plays that you could make, which is why we were so interested to watch to see what plays were made, and then just see how execution ends up working things out.
Yeah.
So if you look at bottom left, top right, I saw that row, and I was like, that row is way too free. I need to give him a row that doesn't pair well with that row. That was the most important thing to me.
Yeah, oh man, that one's super easy.
But we were expecting everybody to go for that row, and then both of you found even easier rows, which amazed us.
Well, I mean, like, I think we did a good job in picking rows that didn't go well with that row. So.
Yeah, because if you somehow made the mistake of giving someone that bottom left, top right, you can do that entire row with. You could just go straight down Red Tower and just pick up Varia and do that entire row in probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah, like 20. It wouldn't take that much longer than like GT Space Time.
Right. Yeah, because the Meridian map station. I mean, you can do that with just high jump boots. Mm-hmm. You don't need gravity for that or anything special. Like, you don't need grapple or ice or anything like that. So yeah, if you accidentally made the mistake of giving someone that, thinking that, like, because spatially sometimes, and this is just my own problem with the bingo cards, I have some problem pairing diagonals with other things, which is actually, I sort of impressed myself a little bit, because I usually don't do well with diagonals, and getting a row and actually finding a decent diagonal that paired with it, I was like, yay, I did good. But
I can't really understand what you mean exactly.
It's I have trouble just spatially, like, organizing the card.
I totally get that. Yeah, like, I will totally miss diagonals because I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Because it just feels so natural to do rows and columns to me, just because of how my brain works. And then, like, trying to get the diagonal into your brain as an option just feels so much more difficult just because of its shape.
Okay, I guess I also kind of did that with top left, bottom right. I didn't even notice it, and yet I did it, and it was faster than the other row I did.
Yeah, I think, and it could be because I would just, like, if I sat and studied the card for a really long time, I would take the diagonals into account, and I'd be able to, like, study the rows and study the columns and make more sense of it. But you sit with the card for 5 minutes, and then you're literally trying to play and study the card at the same time. And so it's like, give me the simplest solutions, and typically they are horizontal and vertical lines, and the looking at the card as an X is, quote unquote, slightly more complicated for dummies like me.
Yeah, trying to play well, trying to figure out which row to do is the hardest thing ever. And, like, the end result is that even, like, series, even go up to bombs, can be a really, really messy segment just because you're absent-mindedly doing things.
Oh yeah, I was racing with Link, and I was like trying to figure out how much of early game can I play without watching the screen, so I could read the card. And I was trying to do, like, Series Escape, like, the screens that I could without watching, and then I was trying to see, like, how much of Parlor can I do without watching.
Probably not.
We remember during our match versus Beeps, we just absent-mindedly went into a wall jump climb, which is when we normally do the behemoth climb, And that's just something that we've noticed. We have a habit of doing a wall jump climb when we just are absent-mindedly playing.
See, I get around that issue by doing the wall jump climb all the time, and I stubbornly refuse to change, ever. So...
Yeah, same. Behemoth climb was too hard for me.
yeah, you gotta, like, ledge grab and stuff. It's terrible.
I just, like, the jumps that I do end up getting me shot by the pirates.
I think
There's
I tried
one
it
jump
once.
which is really tight, and the other ones not so much.
Kamaru keeps telling me to switch to Behemoth Climb, but I'm holding firm. I can wall jump faster now that I've switched to console. Truly, the hardware advantage makes such a huge difference.
One person can play without looking, and that's Ponk.
Yeah, Honk has a distinct advantage at dab.
Ponk has an advantage in dab because Ponk is just good at the game.
Well, that too, but
Oh gosh.
well, that was fun. I kept it. I kept it within under 10 minutes. I'm pretty psyched to keep it less than 10 minutes apart.
Yeah, the difference was about the difference in your any percent times, which means that both of you played well, and Azder is just amazing at Super Metroid.
This is certainly true.
Well, congratulations to both runners. I would say a very well-run race all around. Did either of you have any last thoughts that you wanted to add?
These are really stressful. It's like way more high octane than randomizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dabs are really stressful even when things are going right, because you're looking at the road that you chose and trying to figure out if there's an even better one.
Or for me, it was like, did I give my opponent a really easy row and they're gonna finish with like a 35? It's really hard to judge like distances and the amount of time that things take when you're looking at the card like 5 to 10 minutes before.
Yeah, that's something which just comes with experience, and we think barely any runners have that experience.
I haven't played this much in years, so yeah, I'm kind of lacking there. Oh, GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, thanks guys. That was a lot of fun. Looking forward to my next one.
And thank you. All I did was show up and say dumb things for an hour. You all did
I
all
think
the
you're
real
against
work.
Maniacal.
Yep, looking forward to going 0-2.
How much time do you get to look at it card before the race? That is not well defined.
However long it takes the restreamer to set up, I think might be the most accurate in some cases.
Because realistically, you can sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and just staring at the card. So GG's to both of you, and that was a wonderful race. And make sure that you follow these runners and the amazing trackers who helped with this race, and our co-commentator Bloff.
And make sure to follow our co-commentator Freya's Spirit.
And does anybody else have any closing words? Then we will see you all next mission.